across the thing and sitting there in traffic, I've never sat there for 5 minutes. It's actually maybe 35, 40 minutes. So that probably should be some kind of study. The train sits there and it blocks everything. Everybody goes. That's it. Comment, I can answer, sir, but I don't know what else to say.
If there's a situation where it's backed up for 30 minutes, obviously it's causing a serious amount or significant amount of already existing delay. And the trucks that would be assigned, even with a 50-50 split, there would be in that queue perhaps in the peak hour 2 additional trucks. Clearly there'll be 2 trucks there, but it really wouldn't change any of the characteristics of that train crossing or that delay.
It's a negative there. It's a negative.
And it's it has obviously something to do with the train company. Obviously, if they're blocking traffic for 45 minutes.
You're aware.
No, you've already asked the question.
I just wanted to elaborate.
No.
Just to your benefit.
My name's, is it on? Okay. My name's Myla Frick, M-Y-L-A, F as in Frank, R-I-T-H. You took a study in June, early June, our children get out of school. Now, at the corner of 519 and Strikers Road, there's Rita's. All of our fundraising for Phillipsburg surrounding areas packs that whole parking lot, 150 plus people there. And this goes from probably the 1st of June until the end of August. So none of the traffic or children, hundreds of children, have they been taken into consideration in this?
When you say fundraising, again, I was out there, I'm not sure what you're talking, those days, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
At Rita's.
At Rita's.
Okay, they have a
Rats Deli.
That's the ice cream place.
Yeah,
That's our
absolutely, I'm familiar with it, right.
Our children in our different communities, for instance, I'm the president of the Lopatcong swim team.
Okay.
Okay, for one of our fundraisers, we have our whole team, the surrounding community, come there and we get a percentage of the profits. There's softball teams that do that. There are soccer teams that do that. There's a high school cheerleading. They have car washes there. Was any of this taken into consideration when you did the study?
I did not see a car wash there, but as I was counting the intersection, I took into account every car that passed through. So if the destination is something to do with fundraising, those cars were included in the study, if that was occurring during those days.
And it wouldn't have been occurring during those days.
And it would be, then.
It wouldn't have been at that time, because that's not the peak time of fundraising for the programs.
Again, usually fundraising is something in terms of, and I am familiar with it because I do that type of charitable work also. Usually it's distributed over the day, over the entire day. We're talking about AM peak period where you're mainly talking about commuters going to work, that type of thing. PM peak period, you may see some of that during the PM peak period.
Now, if there is an accident at the stoplight at Dumont's and 519.
Yes.
Or there is an accident on Strikers and 519. Is there a possibility, of course there's always possibilities, I know you're going to say that a car could come across and go into that area? If you know what I'm talking about, the Rita's, there's no boundaries, there's no type of barriers there.
Right, except.
Is that possible? If a car
hits
hits a truck, like one of those huge trucks coming out, a car hits it, okay, people drive crappy. Is it possible from the impact for that car to come back and go into that area that's less than 500 feet where our children cross the road to go to Rita's?
Again, it's to comment on potential accidents really is something that I can do. Accidents can occur anywhere, and the road is, the Strikers Road is newly constructed. It's built to design standards. The signal at Dumont Road was was constructed probably about 5-6 years ago, and everything there is built to design standards and safety also. That's really the only way I can answer that. I can't guarantee or say an accident won't occur. I don't see any excessive safety hazard there.
So with the children running around the parking lot, dotting out, there's no problem. I'm just saying, if there is 1 ounce of a question that a child could be hurt during that time, this is why this plan should go in.
The answer to that is just by all the existing traffic here is obviously a chance.
It was part of on 19th, 5th Avenue, out in New Jersey, Walter, is it? On Lewis. You base your calculation of 100 trucks on average per day, 50 in, 50 out. That totals 36,500 per year, is that correct?
Excuse me, I'm sorry. You said, okay, you're
Your average of 100 per day, 50 in, 50
50 in,
out.
50 out, right?
That totals about 36,500 per year?
That would, 50 and 50 out would be 100, in terms of total trips, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Trips.
No, not really, because we're averaging, the plant itself is closed during, and the operations director could answer that, manager, but the plant is going to be closed several months out of the year. And we're really talking about averages during when the plant is active.
So it's less
even less than that, yeah,
Okay.
it's less than that.
Okay, whatever the count is because of the closed months of operation, does this quantity of trucks a year cause more deterioration than if these trucks were not added to the current traffic load?
By deterioration of the roadway?
Of the roadway and the bridges?
Of course, if you add trucks to the road, there is going to be some wear and tear. However, that road, Strikers Road, was very recently designed, I believe, by both townships. Greenwich designed a piece up to the borderline, and Lopatcong designed that. And certainly, that road was designed to standards and to some projected traffic because it is an industrial zone, so it was designed to those standards, I'm
So
sure.
the standard would be how many years before they have to be paved? What my question is, does that cause those years to actually decrease by the additional traffic load?
That again would probably be best answered by the Lopatcong engineer, who's probably familiar with that design.
Thank you, Walter. Is there certain roads that have weight limits that the applicant's trucks will be prevented by law to travel in your study?
In terms of what we projected or assigned, I should say, the truck limit to are all roads that the trucks will legally be able to travel on. We've talked about this a little before, not myself, but the manager has talked about, in terms of Greenwich, prohibiting trucks on all of those, on several local roads. Right now, there would be no need for those trucks to travel on those local roads, really. Any road that has any type of, that's residential, has any type of weight restriction, unless, of course, the project was a driveway or something on that
If
road.
the trucks go out towards 57, are they legally allowed to go straight and go all the way to Harmony Township? Let's say they had a road project up in Harmony or White Township. Would they actually take that shortcut?
Again, you're saying like if they go out to 57 and go straight through and then hook up with 519?
Yes.
Right now, I've assigned vehicles, the actual trucks assigned there were very minimal, perhaps one or whatever, maybe to account for the project in that area. So nothing significant whatsoever.
There's a 4-ton Strikers Road north
North of Route 57, thank you.
Less than
Thank
an
you.
asphalt truck was delivering products to the resident area. They would not be able to drive on that section.
The average truck, when it's unloaded, weigh less than 4 tons? Would they be like coming back that way if they were unloaded? Or is it an average truck? Well, that might not be a question. One last question.
And again, just to continue on that, what we assumed obviously were that the trucks would be evenly spaced, would go down 57, obviously in both directions, and not straight through. We assumed that in the peak hour, 4 trucks would go to the north, and I'm sorry.
That's an assumption, and as an ex-truck driver, assumptions aren't always followed. But this question is, you testified that you were at the intersection where the train went through twice, and that your expertise is traffic counts and time delays. Did you actually meter, take the stopwatch, or some way to tell us how long the train took before?
I did not take a stopwatch to the actual train. The 2 times I was there, I have to say it was somewhere around 10 minutes. What I was timing was the signal phasing and the offset of the signal. That signal works very well there, actually, once the train has gone to clear the vehicle, so I could do the capacity analysis. I did not time the extent of the train.
Thank you, Walter, and thank you for...
You're welcome.
For traffic expert, Ron Tortello, 17 Windsor Lane, Lopatcong. Ron Tortello, 17 Windsor Lane, Lopatcong. The traffic study that you conducted and completed, did it take into account the new traffic pattern that's created by the new Walmart that just opened, I believe it was February 1st? You said you completed the study in September 27th, an amended study.
Yes, I read, and the counts were done in June of 2000.
So that study would not have taken into account the traffic pattern that's created by the new super Walmart that's opened up, I believe, February 1st, 2012?
Again, definitely not, no.
Thank you.
I do want to add I do want to add that when we do existing counts, we put an NJDOT hazard factor where we increase those counts by several percent through the number of years until the opening of the site. So some of that traffic, wherever it is, new traffic is included. But obviously, since I counted in June, I don't have the, obviously, the counts for Walmart would be.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Pamela Thomas, 6 Wordsworth Lane, Lopatcong Township. Just this evening, Route 57 was closed due to some traffic accident between 519 and Strikers Road. If you live in the township, you know that happens somewhat frequently. So if you have a truck that's coming out of the plant and needs to deliver something along 57, either towards Washington or Harmony, they're prohibited to go up Strikers, but I'm having a hard time believing that your company's just going to say, it's okay, you don't have to deliver your load. How else would they go?
Well, they would definitely be delayed at that point. There's nothing, again, you can't account for if a roadway is closed and a truck gets boxed into an area where its alternate route is through tunnels that they can't get through, or a road that has a weight limitation because of a bridge or something. They would be delayed. There's nothing, as
So
everyone
they will not
else.
drive up Strikers Road, which is residential.
Say that again?
They will not drive up Strikers Road, which is residential.
I can't tell you what a truck driver's going to do at this point. Again, when there's any accident, the truck driver. When there's any accident, the truck driver has to obey the law.
We'd have to please just testify here.
Yes, it does.
Okay, thank you.
Lee Pisicki, 56 Putting Way. Just one quick question. The new bridge on Strikers Road, what is the weight limit for that,
That bridge,
on that bridge?
that I have to defer to the township engineer.
The answer?
I do not know the answer to that question.
Might be a little hard.
That is a county bridge, not a municipal bridge. That's all I know.
That's a county bridge?
It is a county bridge. I'll get the answer tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow night.
Crine, C-R-I-N-E. When you took into consideration the traffic on 231 Stonehenge Drive, when you took into consideration with the train going, on 57, if those trucks are coming up 57 and the train is going that way, you're not allowed to make a left-hand turn. Those trucks will still have to go straight. Did you take that into
Well,
consideration?
the trucks would have to queue in the left turn lane waiting for that train to.
That could be a half hour before those, but that ends up blocking up traffic because it blocks, if you can only get so many trucks into that one lane, so it'll block the traffic up a lot further.
The number of trucks in the peak hour, the average number of trucks in the peak hour would be for the entire hour, what we're projecting is probably would only be 1 or 2. It wouldn't be a whole line of trucks waiting to go in. The whole site is only, the whole site only has 15, in the peak hour, only has 15 trucks going in and 15 coming out. So there really isn't that many trucks to cause a concern. If there's, again, if there's a half-hour backup or a 40-minute backup problem with the trains, again, when I was there, I observed a couple of attendants.
So there's no way that they can keep going straight and then go on to 22 from there. They have to wait for that light to change, is that correct?
I believe there may be, I have not taken that into consideration, what the path would be of that vehicle of the truck to come around, turn back, and go back into the site. There probably is a way they can make a U-turn and come back. Legally, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this point, we were intending only, I know that the hour is late, we were intending, because it was the request of the board, some members of the public, to have Mr. Frank here for, he was subject to extensive cross-examination, but there were a couple of mop-up questions that came up after he departed the last meeting. If you would like to continue, he is here, we're prepared to do that. I leave it to you.
Point of order, do you know what time we're going till tonight?
Until the witnesses were completed. Have you completed all of your witnesses?
We're gonna go through all their witnesses, including their planner?
It's March 1st! New day! We have pigeonhole! One of our experts are left.
We have a professional planner.
Why are you here? You'll sit here all night till you leave.
We know that.
We have a professional planner whose testimony we were going to introduce. We're not anticipating, quite frankly, Mr. Chairman, given the hour that that's going to happen this evening. We did think, however, because Mr. Frank has been here all evening, and again, because he was subject to extensive cross-examination previously, and there was a request for a couple of mop-up questions, that perhaps that can be accomplished this evening.
No, bring it back.
Just for the record, right now it is 12:07, so it's already like tomorrow. So, are you gonna go past 1?
Mr. Chairman, might I suggest, with the request from the public, maybe those in the public that wish to question Mr. Frank, they can raise their hand, and if there's only a couple.
D. Heinrichs, Heinrichs, 1300 Strikers Road, Lopac. I have 3 children at home right now who are with a teenage babysitter, who, by the way, has to be in school tomorrow, because my husband's on a business trip, and I'm here trying to support my township. So at 10 after midnight, I think we need to adjourn this meeting. We have children watching children at home, so they can be here.
Again, Mr. Chairman, as I indicated, we're here. If you'd like to, we'll proceed. If you wish to adjourn, that's fine too.
Mr. Frank going to be available tomorrow?
He will be here tomorrow evening, and our planner will be able to be here tomorrow evening as well.
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Before you adjourn, if you're going to carry the proceedings to tomorrow, could you state that on the record and indicate no new notice?
All right, we'll reconvene at this school tomorrow night.
March 1st at...
March 1st, 7 p.m. to school.
Only other question, I know I asked this off the record, but I'm just questioning whether or not you did the month notice for yeah, Open Public Meetings Act. Okay, and just for the record, you guys met on Monday, I understand, afternoon, set that. Have you set any other dates beyond tonight?
We're referring to March 1st.
Yes. Have you set any meeting dates beyond March 1st?
Only our regular scheduled meeting for morning.
Well, if this for some reason doesn't complete March 1st, if you already know when you're thinking of, could you please have the courtesy to tell us all?
I have no idea. First of all, I don't know if the schools will be available. So a lot of the preparations have to be finalized before I can announce that.
close, that's like.